Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I've been wanting to make this video for about a week now. I want to update you. You've probably seen some different videos. Sigma Street Talk, speed shopping at Walmart. Now, I kind of want to fill you in, and I want to tell you straight out that I am not planning on any big changes on my channel. I still want to do these usual straightforward I feel like they're one-on-one talks with you guys. All right, let me start at the very beginning here. Because as I was thinking about making this video over the past week, it came to mind, of course, about Beau of the Fifth Column and the big changes on his channel. Down in the video description, if you look down there, I've been looking around. I was trying to find something that really explains what happened or what's happening on Beau of the Fifth Column on his channel with his wife, Belle of the Ranch, taking over the videos for him. And I found what I think is a good article down below. It's short, but it's pretty to the point. I think it's a good article. And it explains, I'll get into that in a second, why Beau more or less stepped down from making videos for now. I want to say for now, because I want to see him back again. I love the guy. All right. Okay, and I started thinking about how it kind of relates to what I'm doing. I could understand why he's stepping down. Also, this morning when I was going through different articles, I looked on Reddit, and I was kind of disgusted, because a lot of the comments on Reddit had to do with Beau's arrest from years ago with human trafficking, and that's all I want to say about that. Here's the thing. We all make mistakes, and a lot of you probably are lucky enough to not have made huge freaking mistakes like me or like Beau the Fifth Column. But some of us do, we all make mistakes, and some of us make some huge mistakes. Like I said, and there's always going to be people that look at me through those eyes of the person I used to be, which I am not anymore. I've been clean and sober, completely clean and sober since October 23rd of 2006, 100% clean and sober. But before that, I committed felonies on a daily basis. I was a full-blown heroin and crack cocaine addict. And I'm not that person anymore. And, I like to give Beau the same open-minded look at himself. All right, so Beau stepped down because he makes like two to four videos a day, and I can understand this. Now, me and Beau are kind of related. If it wasn't for Beau the Fifth Column, I get way less views. I'm nowhere near as popular as Beau. I think I got about I'm coming up on 4,200 subscribers. Nowhere near. But if it wasn't for Beau the Fifth Column, I wouldn't be here. I'm not saying he gave me my big break, but he got my foot in the door. He featured one of my videos back when I was getting like 10 views, 5 views per video. He featured one of my videos. I'll put the link to it. Let's talk about Beau the Fifth Column. And he featured that video on his channel, one of my videos, and that thing skyrocketed in my world. It's up to almost 170,000 views. It's gotten thousands of comments. It's got tens of thousands of likes. And that put me on the map. That got me monetized. So I'm forever in his debt, in my opinion. I love the guy. I kind of, modeled, subconsciously, I modeled my channel after his. I can understand what he's talking about with, he kind of needs a break from making these videos because of the mental wear and tear, the strain. And I started thinking about this about a year ago. I was like, geez, this is a real freaking job here. Let me just give you a quick rundown. When I first started doing these videos, I was getting up at maybe 4 in the morning. I'd do my workout, I'd make a video, and I'd go about the rest of my day painting. I'm a professional artist. I paint. I usually do paintings for clients that commission me. Now, this morning, I woke up at 12:30 a.m. And that's just ridiculous. It takes, I'm nowhere on the same level as Beau the Fifth Column, but it takes a lot of work. The first thing I do is wake up and I go through about 4 or 5 different news feeds, TMC, and different news feeds I have on my phone, trying to, see what's going on in the world and what I want to talk about, because I don't even know what I'm going to talk about usually until that morning. So it'll take me about an hour, and then I'll get a notepad and I'll write down notes, because usually I do about a 10-minute video. And I like to do it all in one take. So I have to, in my mind, I have to have that all, ready to go. What I'm going to say throughout the whole thing, the closing, the opening, my points and all that, that takes a little time in the morning. Then I make the video. And then, especially with the new videos I'm making now, with the speed shopping, there was 15 clips in the video that I'm going to download next. So I have to edit these things. And then I have to, they give me a list for monetization. I have to go through a list of what's in my video. If there's any cursing, if there's any adult situations, if there's anything shocking, if there's anything on firearms. So I have to go down this whole list. I have to say what kind of do I want, advertisements mid-roll. So there's a whole checklist I have to go through. Usually I'll make a thumbnail. So that'll take a half hour, trying to make different pictures and different apps to make a thumbnail. So it's really a lot more work, and that's just one video. So Beau makes these videos, and Beau's videos have a lot of knowledge, a lot of information in them. And I can only imagine, and he's very precise, and from what I've seen, his videos are always truthful and exact to the point and trustworthy. And it takes a lot of research to be able to do just like a 4-minute video like that. And he's doing two to four of these videos every day. I thought about this before. It's like, Jesus, Beau must be doing this. I mean, and I was thinking about this. He must be putting in 15, 16, 18 hours a day, because the time I'm putting in, and I'm not anywhere near on the same level he is, so I was thinking about this before, from somebody that's doing it, but not on his level. I was like, Jesus, this must take a lot of his time. I mean, he must be thinking about this 24/7, what the next video is going to be, what am I going to call it, what's it going to be about, how are my views from before, checking the analytics, answering the comments. It's a lot of freaking work. So I could understand what he's talking about. Okay, now for my channel. One thing I learned in recovery is not to beat my head against the wall. If, like they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And lately, unfortunately, the videos I've been doing every day, I tried talking about politics, I tried talking about recovery, I tried talking about personal things that go on in my life, and the views were just going down and down and down. And once I got under 50 views a day, I made up my mind that, I have to try something different, and I worry, I've talked about this before, I learned through Beau about my brand, having a brand, having something people recognize, something that people count on seeing every day. When they click on my channel, they expect to see me sitting here in this, the black shirt with the opening tagline and all that. That's my brand. And I was very hesitant to change that because you could end up losing all your viewers, so I was kind of worried, but then once it got under 50 views, I had to just, I just had to say, I have to do what I have to do. So I've been doing these new videos, and you never know what's going to be successful on YouTube. I mean, for the life of me, I downloaded the same exact video on YouTube and on TikTok, the same exact video. On YouTube, it got 2,400 views, the speed shopping. On TikTok, it got 24 views. And then some days it's vice versa. Some days I'll get thousands of views on TikTok, same video. I'll get a dozen views on YouTube, same exact video. It's so hard to guess what people are going to watch. So I've tried this speed shopping thing, and people are watching it for now. So I'm trying to find some more interesting things. But here's the thing. I'm going to keep this. I like this format because this is my original format. This is what I learned from Beau the Fifth Column. The simple, me sitting here in a relatively short video, 5 to 10. I'd like to keep them under 5 minutes, but I rarely can. Where I just talk to you guys about my opinions and ask you, tell me your opinions in the comments, and kind of, it's a liberal, obviously a liberal, recovering addict, and that's me. That's who I am. And this channel will stay along those lines. I'll still be doing these videos right here, what you see right now. I'm still going to keep doing this. I'm not burned out yet, like Beau the Fifth Column, but I could understand how he is. I could completely understand why he needs a break. With me getting up at 12:30 in the morning every freaking morning, I end up falling asleep right after dinner time now. I end up falling asleep by 7 p.m. So that's just because of the busy day I have, mostly with making the YouTube videos, 4 hours of working out every day, and another 4 to 6 hours of painting, family stuff, keeping the apartment growing, and just daily routine. It's a lot of work. So, but I'll still be here. I'll still be doing these videos. I love Beau, the fifth column. There's an article down below that kind of explains where he's going and why. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Friday.